So I made a video a while back where I talked about the Nescafe Instant Espresso. And in that video, I talked about how it's probably a lot cheaper than just buying a caramel macchiato at Starbucks. But today I wanted to explore the question, what is the true cost of an iced caramel macchiato using the Nescafe versus purchasing one at a place like Starbucks? And so this is going to start a new series on this channel where we explore and review the true cost of a product. I'm kind of a bit of a nerd when it comes to financial aspects of things, so this really intrigued me and hopefully you find it interesting as well. So I went ahead and I created a spreadsheet, as you do with these kind of things, and broke down every single item, the total cost of that item, how many units of that item, so for instance, in this case, how much syrup do I use in a coffee, and how many of those individual uses are of the whole product. Hopefully that made sense. And so where else to start with the breakdown of this iced caramel macchiato than the espresso itself? Now I went back to my old video where I reviewed the instant espresso because I linked the espresso on Amazon. And sure enough, when I went to the actual listing, it looks like they ran out of product, and now some other sellers are trying to sell it at exorbitant prices. Which, by the way, I'll have that video linked in the description if you didn't already watch it. So I went to my local grocery store's website and I just searched for that instant espresso just to get a price. And it turns out a jar of the instant espresso, as it stands now, is $7.19. And there's actually 50 individual servings in this jar. But I make a double shot when I make the iced caramel macchiato. So really, there are only 25 servings for double shots. So if we break down the $7.19 for the espresso divided by 25, that comes out to 29 cents worth of instant espresso per caramel macchiato. So now that you guys know the drill, I'm not going to go through each ingredient as slow. For the Torani syrup, you can get a 4-pack on Amazon. I thought this was super cheap for $25.56. And if you combine all of these bottles together, that gives you 609 uses out of all of these syrups. So the individual cost of the syrup used in my iced caramel macchiato is only 4 cents. And just for comparison, I did a little digging and I put about a teaspoon of syrup in this, and that's what I said cost 4 cents. But if you're wondering, what does Starbucks charge for some extra syrup to a drink? Because that's what I was asking as well. It turns out each pump is around a teaspoon if my research is correct. And here you can see you can get 4 pumps of caramel syrup for 80 cents. When I buy a 4-pack on Amazon, it's only 4 cents a unit or 16 cents total. Plus, Starbucks probably gets it cheaper than I would off of Amazon. So I guess you just do the math on how much they're making off that. The next pretty important item is the milk. Now this you could probably change up to make it even cheaper if you wanted to. I go ahead and I get organic milk from a grocery store called Aldi. And I get a half gallon and it's currently priced at $3.79. Of course, if you got regular non-organic whole milk elsewhere, it's likely going to be probably half the price for a half gallon. I estimated that there's about 13 uses per half gallon because I seem to use just a bit less than 3/4 of a cup, and that comes to around 28 cents worth of milk. And then lastly is the caramel sauce. This can vary depending on how much you want to use and how sweet you really want your iced caramel macchiato to be. But I also found a 4-pack on Amazon for $19.92. If combined, there's about 396 individual units if you only use a teaspoon per iced caramel macchiato, and that comes to 5 cents per teaspoon. So once we add everything up, the total cost of this iced caramel macchiato with this instant Nescafe espresso comes out to be 66 cents. And just for comparison, because I've been talking about Starbucks a lot in this video, near me, a grande iced caramel macchiato goes for $5.95. So you can make about 9 iced caramel macchiatos with this instant espresso and the other ingredients that I showed versus just 1 over at Starbucks. So that's the true cost of this iced caramel macchiato, or it's at least a pretty good estimate. And I hope you found this video interesting because I really like breaking down things like this. I find it very intriguing. All of the items, at least the ones listed on Amazon, will be linked down below if you want to go check those out. So thank you so much again for watching, and I hope to see you in another video.